If you open an offensive lineman book, the first thing you're going to see as part of one of the first chapters is always about stance. Stance delivers power. Even if you have the best step and the best punch, if your stance isn't correct, it's going to be very difficult for you to get into the right position at the right time. So when we think about offensive line stance, we want to think about balance. This is in direct contrast to the defensive line, okay? So when we start with our stance, for those of you that know, fundamental lifts for football are power cleans and squats. We start with our stance about shoulder width apart. If you're a little bit bigger, have some flexibility issues, you can go a little bit wider, but that's going to make it harder for you to step. So I like to preach shoulder width apart, okay? In order to get into our stance, if we're on the right side of the football, so the right tackle or the right guard, we take our right foot, put it to the middle of our left foot, and take it across, so we have a slight stagger. We'll go over that in the step section, why we do that. And then our second part is we take our elbows and we place them just inside of our knees. And now we have a straight back and we're in a squatting position, or it looks very similar to a power clean position. This is intentional. We want to have that positioning for our hips to be able to explode on impact when we do our steps. So here, and then the next thing we do is simply put our hand down. You'll notice I didn't fly forward and have all my weight forward. I put my hand straight down in front of me, and it's nice and balanced with still some weight. We don't want to have one of these where it doesn't look like our hand's in the ground, but we're really just slightly up with our head up like this. Chase is going to demonstrate now what it looks like on the left side. So his left foot is slightly back. His butt is below his shoulders. And if I were to go grab his hand, you'll notice it's nice and light. His heels are in the ground. It's very important because on pass sets, if your heels are in the air, you're not going to be able to go backward. The other part about stance is that we are completely centered. One of the biggest mistakes I see with young offensive linemen is, let's say I know I have to block this direction. When I get in my stance, I am torqued, my hips, facing the direction I need to go. That's giving it away to the defense where we're going. We have to make sure we're squared and we're looking straight ahead the entire time, even if I have to block this way. So if I were to go this way, I'm still squared with my eyes facing forward. At no point I use my peripheral to be able to see that. At no point do I turn my head. The last thing we need to talk about is mental weight. So what we're talking about with mental weight is because we're so balanced, as offensive linemen, we know what step we have to take. So for example, if I need to take a right power step, I know I have to go straight into the center of the lineman that's in front of me. The defense doesn't know that, and we don't want to tip that away. So that's what we talk about when we talk about mental weight. When you walk up to the line of scrimmage with your stance, you need to know what your first step is going to be every time, because you load the opposite leg for the step that you want to take. So for example, and I'm going to do it from standing straight up, if I need to step this direction on a zone step, which is a 45 degree with my left foot, I'm going to load this foot, lighten this foot, and go this way. Now in a game or in a practice or whatever live situation, I don't have the opportunity to do this. It's too slow. So instead what we do is we load this foot so that it's quick, and this foot is very light. The best analogy I can give you is, imagine if I ask you to step this way with my left foot. Is it easier to go on one foot this way? Or is it easier to go on one foot this way and go that way? Obviously, by loading the right leg, I am able to move faster to the left. And so Chase is going to demonstrate this for us. Even though he looks symmetrical, with his head up, he's going to take that zone step. You have no idea where he's going, but he loads, go back, he loads all of the weight on the instep of his right foot. Conversely, if I wanted to step to the right on a zone step, 45, I would load this foot right here to be able to step this way. So that's really the key points that we want to talk about. Again, a good balanced base. Show him one more time, Chase. Balanced base, heels on the ground, hand on the ground, but light enough that it can move should it need to. My butt is lower than my shoulders, just like a power clean. My head is up to read the defense. And then I have a mental thought on which leg I'm trying to load. So again, if I'm trying to go to the left, I load that right leg. Hope this helps you. Like, subscribe, follow for more.